Hey YouTube family, thanks again for showing your support and clicking on this video. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to put them out more frequently, but I'm a little slow at editing, so bear with me. I was actually planning on doing a book talk for this video, but I've decided to hold off on that, and so you might be seeing that a little later on this week or next week. However, I felt that it was necessary for me to speak on it and to use this platform for what it was meant to do. And so you may already know exactly what I'm talking about, but this video is going to be speaking in regards to the murder of Alton Sterling down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana by 2 police officers. I'm almost having like anxiety in talking about it just because there's so much emotion behind it. Before I even really knew the details about the situation, I received a call from a good friend of mine, and she's also, a counselor as well, and she is very close to the situation. She's from that area, and her family is also associated with the Sterling family. So she was very intense with emotion, and I love her dearly for it. She was angry, she was sad, she cried, and I tried my best to comfort her, but the more we spoke about what was going on and the issues that she was so frustrated about and sick and tired of experiencing only made me more intense with my own emotion. I was upset, yes, I was enraged, yes, but in hearing the words that she spoke and her sentiments and the things that she's gone through, and have to talk about this, I have to speak my truth on it, and I have to let the people know that we are past the point of talking. We are past the point of marching for rights that we are innately due just by being born in this country. There's no excuse for this. None. There's reasons for everything. There's reasons for why, people hate one another. There's reasons why, white supremacy has lasted this long in this country. There's reasons why young men, women, and children are slain dead by the very people who are put in place in their communities to serve and protect them. There are reasons why. There's no excuse for them. Because in every position of power, in every position to where you are to provide a service to others, there is an oath, there is an agreement, there is an understanding about the responsibilities. So please explain to me why, time and time again, police officers have shown that they are unfit, unwilling, and have not been provided the training to be able to effectively support and provide and to protect these people within their communities, are yet still on our streets receiving payment for a service they do not provide. Please tell me that. I'll wait. That was getting a little dry. And for those of you who think that what I am saying are nothing but the bitter tales of an angry black woman now coming once again to say what we have already heard, let me straighten this out. This is me utilizing my freedom and right to speak upon which I find important. This is my freedom to speak out against tyranny and oppression of my people. In no way, shape, or form are you going to misconstrue my power to speak, my power to know about which I am speaking, and confuse it for some weak-ass emotion talking about she's angry. Angry is when I lock myself out of my car. Angry. Angry is when I pull up out of school and I got a $30 parking ticket because I went two minutes over my meter. But the type of feeling that I have about my people being slain in the streets and becoming no more than a martyr to a movement that has not even started moving, I find it funny how quickly people are to dismiss something that has of no relevance to them. How quickly people forget the names of countless victims that have suffered at the hands of police officers. And that's just coming from me. You know, anybody can put up a posting on Instagram. Anybody can, you know, sit down at a table of drinking their Starbucks and talk about, oh, how sad and tragic it is. You know, it sort of got me to the point to realize that we are beyond discussion. Having nonsensical debates between one another that produce no results. We know our issues. We know about our strife. We know about our struggle. We can each have our own experience, but the shit is the same. You know, a hot dog is a hot dog no matter what the hell type meat is up in it. You feel me? So it's like, now is the time that we need to act upon, you know, what we're saying. You know, whether it's taking it to the streets, taking it to social media, taking it to the court, taking it to politicians and delegates that we supposedly elect, but show no representation for our communities. You know, as a counselor, time and time again, you know, as you know, techniques evolve and medications evolve, they're only there treating the symptoms. You know, police brutality against people is not the cause, it's a symptom. So-called black on black crime, if I hear that shit ever again in my life, that's not a cause, that's a symptom. High incarceration rates, you know, that's a symptom. I'm tired of this conversation saying that black people are lazy. Black people don't know how to be grateful for what they have. Black people like to be stuck in the past. Well, guess what? If the past didn't keep reliving itself here in the present, I wouldn't have to keep having these conversations. 95 to 98% of the prison population is black, but we only make up 16% of the total population in America. Native Americans only make up 1% of the population, yet they have the highest accounts for teen suicide and rape across the board. There are no excuses for why someone who is a paid civil servant, because police officers, that is what you are. Your paycheck comes from the tax dollars that we, the citizens, we, the people of these communities that you choose to terrorize, are paying you to serve and protect us. You aren't up in the White House protecting the president. You aren't up here protecting, you know, these millionaire movie stars and rappers and shit like that. So who are you protecting? You're protecting those people out there selling CDs in front of a store that they have permission to do so. You're protecting little 12-year-old boys playing in the park with a BB gun. Don't sit up here cry wolf. Don't sit up in here and act all big and bad. Guess what? I come face to face with criminals every day. I've stood toe to toe with people twice my size, under medications, having hallucinations and delusions. And guess what? I was able to de-escalate the situation. I was able to react preemptively so that way no harm could befall someone else or myself. I used my training for the benefit of my clients. The same way you are supposed to use the training for the benefit of the people in your community to which you are paid to serve. You are unable to perform your duties with an unbiased judgment, with an unprejudiced mindset, then guess what? You cannot serve the people because you are more harm than you are a benefit. Do no harm. And from what I've seen across the board, from what I've seen in every one of these situations, every one of these murders, every one of these unjust trial by fire, they're unfit to serve. Therefore, they should be taken off of the force. Therefore, they should be reprimanded for their actions. And therefore, they should be tried as a criminal and held responsible for their actions. I've had enough. I've had enough, to be quite honest. There's no excuse. Tell me this, how are you there with two armed officers, and are unable to detain and question a person to even see if they're the suspect that was even called in question? Please tell me that. Because see, this is how I feel like a conversation between a very tactful, a very civil servant, like I'm here to help and serve you type of officer should have went. Imaginary cop and Alton Sterling. Let's just try this out. Good evening, sir. How are you? Oh, good evening. Good evening. Okay, my name is Officer such and such, and this is my partner, Officer such and such. We're responding to a call of an alleged male that fits your description that may possibly have a gun on him. Do you mind taking a step back, please? Sure. Okay, sir. We're responding to this call, so if we have your consent, may we please search your person and your belongings? When a police officer is detaining you, is questioning you, is interrupting your day-to-day function, they're supposed to give you an explanation why. Secondly, a name for one. So if I need to make a report or a charge or inquire about whatever, accounts or arrests you're giving me, I should have the officer's name and badge number to which I can refer. So let's continue with this. Okay, sir. We checked your luggage. We checked your CDs. We checked your person, and you don't have any weapons on you. But I would ask that you stay right here so that way I can go and speak with the store owner to make sure that he wasn't the one that made the call. Okay, cool. So while one officer is sitting here watching Alton on the curb because they love putting niggas on the curb, guess what? The other officer could have walked his ass inside the store. Excuse me, Mr. Store Owner. Do you know that this person is outside selling CDs in front of your store? Store owner? Why, yes, he is selling CDs, and I have given him permission to do so. Walk my happy ass back outside. Okay, partner, guess what? He's in the clear. The store owner knows that he's out here selling CDs. He doesn't have the gun on him, and although he fits the description, I don't see anything wrong here. It looks like there was a false alarm. Sorry, sir, for the detainment. Sorry for, interrupting what you were doing here. You have a nice day. Pack up my shit and roll the fuck out. I'll tell you why that couldn't happen. Because the system of white supremacy, from the moment a black child is born, they are deemed a threat. They are deemed criminal. First they love to demoralize us, dehumanize us, criminalize us, and then they punish us for when we go through this whole self-fulfilling prophecy of actually fulfilling those things that they say that we are. But when we go against that grain, they will try their damnedest to still pin that label on us. Now I'm a threat. Now I'm somebody who needs to be silenced. Now I'm somebody who is showing a little too much that she knows what her freedom can and cannot do in this country. Because fear is a catalyst. Fear causes you to act. Fear makes shit happen. If you guys can recall back in some sort of Psych 101, it's like remedial class or whatever, that, the body responds to stressful situations in one of two ways, fight or flight. One, you'll run away, and the second one, you're going to respond aggressively to protect yourself against a perceived threat. Correct? When our ancestors were enslaved in this country, after they were freed, it was the hope. It was hope and free will that kept them going and bettering themselves. But what got them to make that move, what got individuals to run away, what got individuals to fight back, what got, the Haitian Revolution and Nat Turner, what got Harriet Tubman was not hope, in my opinion, but fear. An extreme fear that caused them to rise up and do things that none of their predecessors had done before them, to rise up and speak their mind, to rise up and fight against what was happening. It was fear of death at the hands of the whip. It was fear that their children would be taken away from them. It was fear that they would be raped by Master and his men. It was fear that they did not have control over their own lives. It was that fear, that perceived threat that the white man posed that caused them to rise up and do something about it. That they would rather lose their lives on the way to freedom, lose their lives upon their own decisions, than sit here and wait day after day until their number was called. That fear and that anger that made moves. So once again, what the oppressor doesn't realize is that what they're doing now is causing a catalyst for that fear and that anger to cause change again. What those officers did to Alton Sterling was nothing more than their fear response to the potential threat of a black man. The potential threat of a black man, whether armed or not, just or not just, criminal or not criminal, was so great that they responded in aggressive action to end his life rather than have this potential threat remain standing against them. So we need to take that into consideration and reconsider this for ourselves. What are we going to do now? Rather than living in fear that at any traffic stop, at any disgruntled situation, at any question asked a police officer may be your last, we've had hope. Hope has never left us. But it's that hope that has kept a lot of us content. Oh yes, be grateful for what we have. Be grateful for every waking breath that you have on this earth. But don't let hope coddle you into a false reality and dreams that have not yet been achieved. Give them fear. Give them something to fear. You want to fear me because I'm talking what I want to talk and I'm not backing down? Fear me because I may actually do something to back these words up. That's what needs to happen. Time and time again, we see R.I.P. Trayvon Martin. Hashtag Sandra Bland. I am Sandra Bland. You have to pick your battles. If your battles is talking about police brutality, act on it. If your battle is talking about, lack of resources in schools and overpopulation, talk about it. If your battle is talking about the rate of incarceration and drugs on our streets and the fact that they use it as a tool to weaken and cripple black communities and then come in and gentrify the place so that way it's too high for black people to even live there and then it becomes something like DC. But yeah. It's been time for a change. So either you change with it or get left. So yeah, but holla at y'all later.